First impressions matter. We've all heard the saying that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but the reality is that we are all making judgments on the people we meet within the first interaction. In this video, we'll go over 3 simple methods that will help you always leave the best first impression. But before we get to those, I want to explain the underlying principle for this video, which is that having a warm presence is the most effective way to leave a positive first impression. And I know that may sound a bit vague and a bit woo-woo, but we are all drawn to people who are kind, honest, and humble. If you want people to like you from the first interaction, then be someone that makes others feel comfortable in your presence. Now, if you want people to dislike you for some reason, then the fastest way to leave a negative first impression is to do the opposite, by being cold, disingenuous, and judgmental. So if you feel like you already have a good grasp of how to be a warm and kind person, then feel free to stop watching. But if you want to go a bit deeper into it, then let's get to the 3 methods that will help you leave better first impressions. The first thing you should do if you're trying to leave a better first impression is just smile. One of the first things that we judge about people when we meet them is how trustworthy and kind they appear to be. Again, what we want is to demonstrate warmth, and using positive body language is going to achieve this. So picture 2 interactions. One, you're meeting someone, they're smiling at you, they're standing confidently, they're relaxed, and they seem like a nice person. And then compare that to someone who is maybe standing anxiously or standing with their arms crossed, and they're hitting you with a cold look. Who would you rather meet? So if you want to have friendlier interactions, then smile. It'll make everyone, including yourself, happier. Number 2 is to use people's names. It's often really easy to underestimate the importance of names and the impact they can have. I mean, I know I've been caught in the past thinking that saying something like mate, bro, or whatever, that feels like it has the same impact, but it doesn't. To demonstrate this, let's compare 2 different interactions. First, I want you to imagine that your name's Peter. Sorry. And now imagine that you're walking into a room full of people you know, or even people that you hardly know. Someone glances your way and greets you with a hey, or hey mate, or good afternoon, something basic like that. Now imagine that that person instead greets you with a hey Peter, or good afternoon Peter, or anything like that that includes your name. With just the simple addition of your name, well, Peter's name I guess, doesn't that interaction feel a lot more personal? Using someone's name is going to demonstrate kindness and respect and build that sense of personal connection. And we can apply this to first interactions as well. So when you first meet someone, it's a great idea to ask for their name and to really try and make sure that you actually remember it. And if you want to go a step further, use it during that first interaction. An example of this would be when you've met someone, you've had a talk, and then you're parting ways, you'd say, oh, it was lovely to meet you, Peter. It's going to make the interaction feel so much more personal. One tip with this though is don't overdo it. If I was to come to you, and again, your name's Peter, I say, oh, Peter, nice to meet you. Lovely to talk to you, Peter, 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 Peter. And I just keep repeating your name. Like every sentence I say, it's going to sound really forced and definitely going to come across as like a manipulation tactic, which is not what you want to do. If you want to appear warm, you can't make it seem like you're trying to manipulate someone. So keep it natural. The last tip is to use active listening. When you first meet someone, you're going to leave a way better first impression if you actually listen to them and have a good back and forth conversation, rather than just only talking about yourself or seeming disinterested when they're talking. You want to actually make it seem or really genuinely have an interest in what they're saying. So I guess what you shouldn't do is be that person that only talks about themselves. That's not going to leave a good impression. And definitely don't be that person who just seems to not care about the conversation at all. You know, that person that just acts like they're above it or just disrespects you. And if you do, you're going to come across as cold and unfriendly and pretty hard to like. Active listening isn't necessarily an easy skill for everyone to pick up. And even for those that are good at it, sometimes who you're talking to is really boring. But if you want to make a good first impression, you still need to actively listen and find a way to be engaged. Okay, so a quick recap. Number 1, smile to appear more friendly and warm and have nicer interactions. Number 2, use people's names to demonstrate respect and create a sense of personal connection. And number 3, actively listen to show your respect and interest in the other person. If you're able to do these 3 things, then I guarantee you'll have much better first impressions and you're going to be way more likable. These are all things that I try and do consistently, and I find that I have way better first impressions and interactions when I'm making a conscious effort to do these things and to be a more warm person. If there are other things that you think I've missed or are more important, I would love to know what you think in the comments. But as always, thank you for watching.